Right, welcome back, everybody. So elections, that's all we're talking about at the moment. I know that there was a big countdown that was happening to the day that we go to the polls 1st of November. What are we on, about 39 days, 40 days? I'm not too sure.
So that was the last month. That's October has 31 days.
Yes, it does.
And how many days do we have left in September? 9. So 40 days.
There we go, 40 days. Nicely done. Maths teaching was your strong point. Okay. So anyway, but the reality is there's so much to cover and so much to look at in the run-up to the elections, and to talk about, political parties, see what they're offering. But it's the independent candidates that I think is the interesting side. They always are the interesting side of the elections. And we're actually just trying to set up hoping that we can get the connection running properly with one of the independent candidates that is, he's got a move. It's called the New Horizon Movement in Emfuleni, and he's going to be chatting to us. Vincent Jones, he's one of the 45 independent candidates under that banner.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens, how it goes. Of course, the voter registration program, and as we heard in the news there, people not really coming out as enthusiastically as one would have imagined they would. So it's going to be interesting to see the voter turnout for these elections, because there seems to be quite a lot of disgruntlement, but at the same time, what happens if people actually don't turn up on election day?
It's an interesting
Who are the winners and who are the losers?
And this is the huge problem. I mean, like I said to you, I think it was on Monday morning when we were here, and I'm not saying that was for every area, but I noted it was dead around our IEC centres.
You did say.
And that worried me a little bit, of just hoping and, thinking that people are registered and that they are going to go vote. But I think the numbers that were brought up by the IEC was, about 700,000 registrations took place, or a little bit more. But that surely is not indicative of the amount of unregistered voters there are and that needed to vote or to go and register. But I'll leave that to you to get the official numbers, because I believe our guest is ready. So let's chat to him, and then we'll talk a little bit more about those numbers that the IEC did release yesterday. So as South African communities are seized with these local government elections that are taking place, as you heard, in 40 days' time on the 1st of November, political party representatives as well as independent candidates are positioning themselves to take over running municipalities. So the Emfuleni Municipality in Sebokeng, south of Johannesburg, is currently under administration, and this, of course, is due to years of financial malfunction and mismanagement, a lack of service delivery induced by corruption, and all of this is the abuse of state finances at the end of the day. The municipality has attracted independent candidates from each of its 45 wards who will be contesting the elections. Now, the view of these individuals is to depoliticize the local government sphere and introduce professional leadership in municipalities. All right, so Vincent Jones is one of the 45 independent candidates under the banner of the citizen-led New Horizon Movement in Emfuleni, and he joins us now to have a quick chat. Vincent, good to have you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Leanne. Good morning, and good morning to the viewers.
It's an absolute pleasure. So help us understand this. What exactly is the New Horizon Movement all about? How old is the organization? And let's perhaps talk about your focus there.
The New Horizon Movement, like the name suggests, it is a movement, a civil organization movement, an alliance of business, church groups, and similar non-political organizations. And the vision of the movement is to work towards a non-political, professional, and clean local government. We are contesting this year's local government elections. And basically, Leanne, we are saying South Africa is a highly politicized country, to a point that we don't know a difference between what is governance and what is politics. And we are in all this mess and trouble and the collapse of municipalities because we have taken politics and put it where it does not belong, in local government. A New Horizon Movement says for us to get the local government to work and provide quality services to the people, we have to depoliticize. We have to take all party politics out of local government. And here, Leanne, we are not talking about one political party, but we are just saying party politics does not belong in local government. We need to make sure that we depoliticize and professionalize, appoint people who are qualified, especially in critical positions of municipalities.
Yeah. We love what you say in an ideal world. It sounds amazing. Take politics out of politics. That's kind of, in a nutshell, what you say. How do you do that? I mean, that's almost impossible, to be honest with you. I mean, it's you know, politics is politics, and when we're talking about government levels, there is always going to be that. But the reality is that, you know, any political party, it's the fault of who is put in charge of a particular ward and municipality. But I want to get a little bit more from you, taking politics out of it, politicizing local government. I need more explanation there.
This is what we do. Our candidates are not people who are pushing a narrow party political agenda. That's one. They are driven by the needs of people. Number two, our list is full of professional people, engineers, CAs, career policemen and policewomen. So that, for an example, here in Emfuleni, we've got problems of electricity and sewage. Therefore, you can't appoint as MMC of infrastructure development and appoint a politician just because he happens to have a high position in a political party. No. What we are saying, infrastructure development, we have an obligation to appoint an engineer who knows what is going on and who will be about fixing the infrastructure. Social development and business development, we need a business person who knows about business and not someone who is holding a position or who is deployed by a party.
Yeah.
So it starts with our PR list. It starts with our candidates. The quality of candidates that we have are the candidates who are going to make sure that this vision becomes a reality.
Yeah.
That is the starting point.
I mean, that should be the list of priorities of any party that's governing a country. I mean, a country is like a business, and you should have the best people in the job to do that. But you know, that's a conversation for a different time, but a vital conversation, and something we speak about all the time. And the right people are not necessarily in the right positions and are not even qualified to do what they are doing. Let's go down to a ward level, though. An independent candidate comes in. You've got the big machinery like the ANC, like the DA, like the EFF, who have support. They have, as I say, machinery behind them. What does an independent candidate have, and how much clout do you honestly have over these big parties?
Nothing, Leanne. I'm not going to lie to you. We are a new movement. We don't have a clout. But here is our asset, the people. The people who have been lied to, the people who have been deceived, the people whose trust has been betrayed, those are the people who are ready to make a change. That is our asset. Those are the people who are holding on to. You look at the stats, from about 8 years back or so, you see, Leanne, that the voters are declining. The level of voting in this country, you have got a lot of people who are disgruntled because of unfulfilled promises, and they are withdrawn. And we are saying to those people, we are about to make history. Be a mover, be a shaker. Come out of your shelf. Come and join us. We know you are disappointed. We know you have been betrayed. And let us vote for change. Vote New Horizon movement. This is the moment for change. And we are saying to people here, these elections are very critical. You make a wrong decision on the 1st of November, you are going to pay for the next 4 years. And we can't afford to have the same of what we've been experiencing for the past few years. We can't afford to have the same. So I am saying the biggest asset we have. We don't have a political cloud. We don't have famous names, but we have the people who are backing this movement. And it is the people of Emfuleni who are going to make history and show the whole country that by the next elections of local government, we need to have half of the municipalities professionalized if we are to get this country right.
So, I mean, you look at Emfuleni, and this is really this particular area is devastating. Water challenges, sewage spillages everywhere, filth,
Absolutely.
General filth. I mean, that's one way of describing it, with heaps of refuse in open areas. This is how the people of Emfuleni live at this point in time. Why have communities actually been tolerating the deterioration in the state of things there?
That is a very good question, Leanne, and it just blows my mind trying to understand that. Let me quote someone who said, if you want to know that you are really in an abusive relationship, you can only see by the fact that you keep going back. And I think that is the problem. But people are realizing now, people know now, that they say if you smell mud, you know that rain is coming. But if you smell tar, you know elections are coming. So people are beginning to see through all these tricks. People are waking up. And that is why New Horizon has got such a growing support, because people are waking up to the reality that actually every year we are sold a lie. Right now we see canvassing, we see electioneering in the name of oversight. A very nice English word. But we can see people now are beginning to see that, these are the tricks, and this is what we've been experiencing every election year. You come to Emfuleni now, Leanne, roads are being tarred, There's a cleaning campaign that is going on. It's all deception. And I'm saying people are waking up to that reality.
Yeah, look, it is interesting, and it is going to be very interesting to see how the independents do, because there are a lot standing in different wards around South Africa. I think an important question, though, is to ask your relationship with Mismanagement. What is that? How does that all work?
You see, Mismanagement was a leader of DA in Parliament. He got disappointed. He got betrayed. And he experienced firsthand the brokenness and the failure of politics and politicians. Came out of Parliament, started One South Africa. And he realized that you cannot resolve problems with the same mentality that created them in the first place. And he said he cannot go back, he couldn't go back to politics, and he needed to start a movement that would help independent candidates, a movement that will ensure that local government is depoliticized. And so we looked at our very visions, we met, and we say, you know what, we are not politicians. Politicians, they differ even when there is no need to differ. But we thought we are not politicians. We are both civil movements, and we believe in one thing, and therefore let us work together. So the role of One South Africa in Mismanagement is to capacitate independent candidates, to support independent candidates. And New Horizon movement is one of those movements that are supported and capacitated, trained, given information, and supported with other resources by One South Africa. It is a partnership that we have.
All right, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there for this morning. But thanks for talking to us. So, chatting to one of the independent candidates, Vincent Jones. He's one of 45 under the banner of the citizen-led New Horizon movement that'll be running in all the wards in Sebokeng, Emfuleni, south of Johannesburg, which, to give a bit of background, has been under the administration of the Gauteng provincial government since 2018 due to corruption and mismanagement, which really has led to the total collapse of services in the municipality. So when you go to the polls, lots of independent faces that you will see there on the ballot paper. So we'll see how that, of course, does. But that's it. That's where we have to unfortunately leave it for our SABC 2 viewers here. And we've got that another hour coming on.